Alexander, diplomats in Qatar today say that they are working with the U.S. and Iran to find a solution as both sides publicly disagree over direct talks. And President Trump warns Tehran that this is their last chance to make a deal. Brigadier General John Teichert with me now, retired Air Force. Good to be with you again, John. So
John,
here's how the president put it yesterday in the Oval Office. Listen here.
We are talking right now, we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is the last chance.
This is the last chance. Do you think Iran believes that?
John, the challenge in any of these types of situations is it's all based on the credibility of you in the mind of an adversary. And I think these constant threats, and we find off-ramps to not enact those threats, are causing our credibility to drive to zero in the mind of the adversary. And our strongest bargaining position vis-a-vis Iran was at the end of active combat operations now 4 months ago. And the further we get away from that moment, the less strength we have in the mind of our adversary.
You had a good analogy, a pop culture analogy about where we are with this, right?
I did. I said that from the movie Mall Cops, we'll yell stop. And if you don't stop, we'll yell stop again. And I think we're in that cycle where now the more cycles we have of this, the less likely it is to deter, the less likely it is to compel. And now I think we're less likely to get a good deal, even if Iran decides to give us a deal.
To that point about yelling stop and stop, or I'll yell stop again, there was a ship that was attacked by some sort of projectile. It was just off the coast of Oman, clearing the Strait of Hormuz. Remember what President Trump said 2 weeks ago about shipping and Iran attacks. From this point forward, he said, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located next to or in the capital city of Tehran. Where's the bridge? Where's the power plant?
John, we need to see it. And I really do think the president's instincts are right here, that when he makes these threats, those threats are legitimate. And if we carried them out, it would actually move the needle.
But that's the thing.
But we need to carry them out.
The ship was attacked yesterday.
Correct.
No power plant, no bridge was attacked.
No. So I think that if we took a step back, and I would have hoped that the meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel last week would have helped reset us in what are we trying to achieve, how are we going to do so, and actually map our targeting strategy to the things that matter most to the regime, and I think that could move the needle.
So the president said yesterday, again in the Oval Office, that the negotiations with Iran are going to proceed on 2 phases. Listen to what he said here.
We're talking about the strait, the opening of the strait, having it open literally by tomorrow, completely open. And that's phase 1. And phase 2 is we then will talk about the nuclear capacity, the nuclear, as we've been mentioned. Basically, it's, I think, the denuclearization of Iran has to happen. Has to happen.
So we were told weeks ago that there was a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz, that Iran had agreed to give up its nuclear program, allowed the United States to get the nuclear dust, and now we're back to square one again.
We are, and John, my biggest concern is way back at the beginning of April, there was one and only one precondition to the original ceasefire, and that was Iran would open up the Strait of Hormuz, no strings attached. They never did. They didn't follow through on the MOU. And right now, even if they made a deal, I would see it as hollow as what I fear our threats are seen as in the eyes of the regime.
Right. Well, they just keep on playing the same tune over and over again, We'll see how it goes this time around. General, it's always great to catch up with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.